Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasuni Balachandra.
Hello there. Good evening. I'm Niket Karunaratne. We'll start off with the headlines as usual. The Defence Secretary says the security forces have acted with utmost commitment to render justice for the Easter Sunday attack victims. The government directs attention to expedite the vaccination of children between the ages of 12 and 18. Low-cost testing kit to detect corona patients. Australia to introduce a roadmap to lift the lockdown restrictions imposed in Sydney. The Mahasangha praises efforts taken to free the tamed elephants in the custody of police back to their owners.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. The government has directed attention in accelerating the commencement of vaccination for the children between the ages of 12 and 18. Speaking at a virtual meeting, Minister Kelly Rambukwella said that the inoculation of children should be commenced in order to reopen the schools. The minister said that the World Health Organization has pointed out several guidelines over the inoculation of children. Accordingly, the minister said that the children in grade 7 to grade 13 are eligible to receive the vaccine. He said that the schools can be reopened following the vaccination of children, as both academic and non-academic staff of schools have already been fully vaccinated. The minister further said that 2 million children can be inoculated. Also, under the inoculation of the persons between the ages of 20 and 29, the first dose has been given to 34% of the respective category, while 12% have received the second dose. A vaccination program conducted by the Sri Lanka Army was held at the Diyatuyana premises in Battaramulla today. Another vaccination program was conducted at the Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo. Accordingly, persons above 20 years of age can receive the COVID-19 vaccine from the centre. The inoculation of persons between the ages of 20 and 29 in Dehiwala area was carried out at the Maternity and Children's Clinic in Mihindumawata, Dehiwala today. The vaccination program was organized by Dehiwala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council. A program to vaccinate persons between the ages of 20 and 29 was held at Attanagalla Veeragula School. The program was organized by Office of the Attanagalla Medical Office of Health. Another vaccination program for the persons between the ages of 20 and 29 was commenced in Mathura district yesterday. Accordingly, vaccination programs were conducted at Malimbada Sumeda School, Kamburupitiya Narandeniya School, Athuraliya Sadaz Muslim School and Godapitiya National School. The inoculation of persons between the ages of 20 and 29 in Kegaul district was also commenced yesterday. Accordingly, vaccines were inoculated for the residents belonging to Varakapulam Medical Officer of Health Division. A total of 23,123,345 vaccine doses have been inoculated under the COVID-19 immunization program thus far. A total of 1,899,486 vaccine doses have been provided for the public in the last 7 days. 429,099 vaccine doses were administered yesterday. A total of 1,946 COVID-19 infected persons were detected in the country today. Meanwhile, 1,507 persons have fully recovered from the disease and left the hospital today. Minister Kelly Rambukwella pointed out that the oxygen usage in hospitals have reduced in a considerable amount compared to the past couple of weeks. He made these remarks while taking part in a virtual meeting of the Kundasale Divisional COVID-19 Committee. A new test kit has been manufactured by a research team of University of Peradeniya, which can be used as an interim testing method to the rapid antigen tests and PCR tests to detect COVID-infected persons. The research team comprises of Peradeniya University Vice Chancellor Professor M.D. Lamavansha and Senior Lecturer Ruchika Fernando introduced the new test kit to Minister Kelly Rambukwella. The new test kit, known as RT-LAMP, expected to provide faster results than the rapid antigen or PCR tests and costs as low as 1,500 rupees. The product has been approved by the National Medicines Regulatory Authority and expected to be registered in near future. The product has been submitted to obtain the patent both locally and internationally. The minister said that the government will extend its fullest support in this regard under the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement.
Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemanta Herath, says that the medical specialists' intention in making a statement over delaying pregnancy by 1 year is an attempt taken to make people understand the gravity of the pandemic and the adverse effects to pregnant women. However, he emphasized that it is not the official stance of the Ministry of Health or the government in this regard. He also said that medical specialists make statements and express their views in order to educate people on the prevailing situation.
Concerns have been raised about requests made by consultant obstetrician and gynecologist on the previous day related to the postponement of pregnancy, and I hope that this type of announcements or this type of communication we are arranging with the support of the Health Promotion Bureau to educate the public related to the various aspects of COVID-related health conditions. And we invited this consultant obstetrician and gynecologist give his independent opinion with regard to the pregnancy and vaccination and pregnant mothers during or in the light of the pandemic. And it is not necessarily tallying with the health ministry's stance or policy with regard to the pregnancy or related activities. But it is our duty to allow the expert to express their independent opinion related to these matters, and it is up to us or the general public to take informed decisions based on the information communicated by these experts. So therefore, what we from the Ministry of Health is requesting is listen to the experts and take your own decision, rather than it is not that government is forcing to postpone or delay the pregnancy. If this is only the request also made, somebody can postpone their pregnancy, that is the best option to prevent any possibility of getting into complication during this pandemic. Otherwise, there are people who cannot delay the pregnancy due to different reasons, and such people are, they have their own decision, they can take their own decision, and then there are ways and means to protect them even if they become pregnant. So therefore, this should not be taken as a different meaning or any other way. It should not be interpreted in a different manner.
The Chief Technological Officer of the Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka, Hiranya Samarasekara, says that the opportunity has been provided to reserve an appointment along with a vaccination centre for the persons above 20 years of age in Western Province through vaccine.covid19.gov.lk website.
Western Province Provincial Director of Health Services, together with the Information Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka, we have come up with an online website for the citizens who are living in the Western Province, that is in Colombo, Kaluthara and Gampaha districts, to obtain their online vaccination appointments to receive Sinopharm first dosage. This is available for anyone who is 20 years and above. By visiting this website, either through a computer or through a mobile phone, you can select MOH area that you are a resident of, or you can select a close by district hospital to obtain this vaccination. This service is now available for anybody to register.
Australia's biggest city, Sydney, is likely to ease out of lockdown from next month, provided a vaccination threshold is reached. The New South Wales state capital has been in lockdown since July due to a Delta variant outbreak. The state government released its much-anticipated roadmap to freedom today.
Australia's biggest city, Sydney, announced plans on Thursday to ease lockdown restrictions from mid-October. That's when authorities expect 70% of adults in New South Wales to have received 2 doses of vaccine. Only then will Sydney's cafes, restaurants and pubs be allowed to reopen. Stay-at-home orders for the fully vaccinated will also be lifted on the Monday after the vaccine target has been reached. The plans come as daily infections linger at near record levels in New South Wales. The state registered more than 1,400 new local cases on Thursday and 5 more deaths. New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian warned that cases would rise further when restrictions are eased.
I want to stress that whilst today the New South Wales Government is outlining our plan, our roadmap for the way forward in New South Wales, that we're definitely not out of the woods. We know that case numbers are likely to peak in the next week or so, and we also know that our hospital system will be under the greatest stress in October.
Like the rest of Australia, the state had pursued a COVID-0 strategy to quell an outbreak of the highly contagious Delta variant that began in mid-June. Now the focus has shifted to increasing inoculation rates and providing certainty for businesses. Lockdowns in Sydney and Melbourne have threatened to push Australia's economy into its second recession in as many years. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Thursday the reopening efforts of New South Wales align with the national plan outlined in July. He urged state leaders to hold their nerve when they begin to live with the virus.
Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne says that the security forces, including the police, have acted by rendering their fullest commitment in bringing justice for the victims of the Easter Sunday terrorist attack. Addressing a media briefing today, the Defence Secretary said that the relevant investigations over the incident have achieved a considerable progress. Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne said that the security forces will act appropriately with their utmost commitment in rendering services for the persons who have been subjected to such heinous attacks belonging to the nation. He said that the Sri Lanka police had to take a tremendous effort in identifying those who were responsible for this incident. He added that investigations are still underway on the suspected culprits. He said that close to 100 suspects have been taken into custody and judicial measures have also been taken against them. He said that a minor mistake to the entire investigative process would change the entire course of the series of events, which would ultimately affect the victims of the incident. Therefore, he said that these processes should be carried out within a systematic methodology, and the relevant investigation officers are also on high alert in this regard.
පවුල්වල අයට අම්මලා තාත්තලාට බිරින්දෑවරුන්ට දරුවන්ට සාධාරණ ඉෂ්ට කරන්න නම් පොලිසිය පැත්තෙන් ඒ ඉදිරිපත් කරන හැම කේස් එකක්ම සොලිඩ් කේස් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට අවශ්‍ය සියලුම දේවල් හොයාගෙන ඕනේ උසාවියට ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා මේක හරි ක්‍රමවේදයකට කරන්න ඕනේ. මමත් ආරක්ෂක ලේකම්වරයා මමත් පුද්ගලිකවම මෙතුමන්ලා එක්ක මේ ක්‍රියා ක්‍රමවේදය බලන් ඉන්නවා. අපි සෑහෙන ගමනක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. බුද්ධ්‍යංශවල නිලධාරීන් සහ පොලිසියේ නිලධාරීන් ගිහිල්ලා ඒ කතෝලික බිෂොප්තුමන්ලාගේ එකතුවට ගිහිල්ලා මං හිතන්නේ පැය 4ක විතර කරුණු පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් කරා. අවාසනාවකට එදා කාඩිනල්තුමා හිටියේ නෑ. නමුත් අනිත් බිෂොප්තුමන්ලා ඔක්කොම හිටියා. ඒ අය බොහොම සෑහීමකටපත් වුණා. මම දන්න තරමින් ඒ ගැන මම ආරක්ෂක ලේකම්වරයා ඉතාමත්ම වගකීමෙන් කියන මේ නිලධාරීන් ඒ අයගේ උපරිමය යොදලා දැන් සෑහෙන දුරක් මේ ගමන ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
Sri Lanka Navy Commander and the IGP made remarks over the raids carried on drug trafficking in the recent past. Sri Lanka Navy Commander Vice Admiral Nishantha Ulugethanna said that Sri Lanka Navy Intelligence Unit is collaborating with other intelligence agencies in the country. He said that Sri Lanka Air Force also provides assistance to carry out large-scale surveillances which have to be carried out within a short period of time. He added that Sri Lanka Navy has apprehended 2,430 kilograms of heroin in the sea since 2019. He added that 13,901 kilograms of Kerala ganja, 89 kilograms of hashish and 1,038 of ice drug have also been apprehended. IGP CD Vikramaratne said that measures have been taken to confiscate all assets ranging from vehicles to bank accounts earned through illegal drug trafficking means. He requested the public to provide information on such illegal activities without any hesitation.
The Mahasangha has praised the government for freeing the tamed elephants in the custody of the police back to the owners. The Mahasangha, while addressing a media briefing held at the Hunapitiya Dharmarama Temple premises today, said that many Buddhist cultural and religious observances and events were not organized in an efficient manner since the elephants were in the custody of the police for a period of 5 years. Chief incumbent of Dharmarama Temple, Venerable Dr. Kirinde Assajithera, said that cruelty on animals has surfaced with the participation of tamed elephants for processions and related festivals organized based on temples and other religious establishments. He said that such acts had severely affected traditional religious festivals in recent past. He added that the government recently freed a part of the elephants in their custody back to the owners. He then said that the Mahasangha extend their appreciation in this regard to the government.
All rice stocks seized by the government from large-scale rice mill owners in the Polonnaru district have been directed to Lanka Sadasa outlets. The respective rice stocks were seized by the government for concealing the stocks and failing to issue them to the wholesale market. 800,000 kilograms of rice stocks owned by Nipuna, Latpandura, Araliya, Hiru, New Ratna and Surya were seized by the government yesterday. Accordingly, the distribution of the seized rice stocks to Lanka Sadasa outlets was carried out immediately under the supervision of Commissioner General of Essential Services, Major General Senrat Nyunhalda, and Chairman of Consumer Affairs Authority, Retired Major General Shanta Disanayaka.
නිකුත් කරන මහා පරිමාණ සහල් මෝල් හිමි ඇතැම් අය දවසකට නිකුත් කරලා තිබුණේ කිලෝ 30000ක් පමණ. එතකොට කිලෝ ලක්ෂ 6ක් නිකුත් කළ යුතු වෙළඳපොළට කිලෝ 30000ක් නිකුත් කළොත් එතන විශාල
Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the supply of rice into the market was constantly interrupted by them during the past week. He said that the tenders were called to purchase rice through Lanka Sadasa, but they failed to present for these initiatives. Accordingly, a shortage occurred in Lanka Sadasa. He further said that the large-scale rice mill owners who previously issued 500,000 to 600,000 kilograms of rice within a day only issued around 30,000 kilograms of rice on a day. The minister said that after careful consideration into the situation, the president appointed a commissioner on essential food commodities. Accordingly, he said that measures were taken to seize required rice stocks from leading mill owners yesterday for failing to act in accordance with the previous agreements. He also said that the issue pertaining to sugar has also been resolved and sugar stocks are being sold at a maximum rate of 116 rupees.
All economic centres in the country will be opened for wholesale trading purposes today and tomorrow. Colombo's Central Fisheries Trade Complex is also open at present. The traders have indicated that the price rates of vegetables and fish have reduced. Manning Wholesale Market has received large stocks of vegetables from the upcountry as well as low-country regions today. Therefore, a vehicular congestion was seen in the adjoining roads of the market. The traders have indicated that the prices were dropped due to the receipt of large quantities of vegetables. Tambategama Economic Centre was also opened today for the wholesale trading of vegetables. The arrival of traders and farmers was at a moderate level, though arrival of traders and farmers in other centres was at a lower level. The farmers have said that a good price was given for their products. Traders have also been able to purchase products to suit their requirements. The Traders Association said that the Katugastore Economic Centre have received 600,000 kilos of vegetables today, but required number of traders had failed to arrive at the centre to purchase the products. The Trader Association of the centre further said that the consumers were compelled to purchase products at a higher rate, even though wholesale rates were at lower levels. Paliagoda Central Fisheries Trade Complex has also received large stocks of fish today. The price rates of smaller fish varieties have reduced after receiving large stocks from various parts of the country. Sri Lanka Electronic Broadcasters Forum has directed a letter to Minister Dallas Alahaperma today over a YouTube dialogue by presenting baseless facts on the payment of royalty for musicians and other related artists. The relevant forum has alleged that the YouTube dialogue has been conducted while levelling allegations against electronic media outlets. They have pointed out that a threatening excerpt has also been used in closing down mass media institutions. Accordingly, the forum has requested the minister to direct his attention on the issuance of such statements against the constitution of the country and democratic fundamentals. The forum has further alleged that these efforts led by a private company are in motion in order to sabotage the measures taken to formulate a systematic methodology for the payment of royalty for musicians. A discussion was held on August 9th over regarding the preparation of the new methodology under the patronage of the Minister of Trade. The letter has further indicated that OSCA and ACPO organizations, musicians, media and communication institutions as well as Sri Lanka Electronic Broadcasters Forum had taken part in this meeting. The forum has pointed out that this private company is making such attempts by deliberately neglecting the factors agreed at the discussion. The letter has further pointed out that the heads of all media institutions have conveyed their fullest cooperation to the forum in making the royalty as well as other legal payments for musicians and other related artists. A cabinet subcommittee representing all stakeholders has been appointed to decide on a fair price rate, and the relevant recommendations are set to be submitted within a period of 3 months. The forum in their letter to the minister has indicated that under such climate, a private company has arbitrarily decided on a price methodology and requested media institutions to make those payments to the company. The Electronic Broadcasters Forum has said that the company has engaged in a wrongful act by influencing other musicians and artists to gain its membership while charging 45% of the full payment expected to be received by the musicians and other relevant artists. Accordingly, Sri Lanka Electronic Broadcasters Forum has requested the subject minister to direct his attention on the negative impacts which can occur from such YouTube dialogue at a time when all media institutions are preparing to extend the 100% payment to the artists as proposed by the government. Former parliamentarian Udit Lukabandara has been appointed as the Secretary to the Prime Minister's Parliamentary Affairs. He received the relevant appointment letter from Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Temple Trees this morning. Former parliamentarian Udit Lukabandara is the son of veteran politician W.J.M. Lukabandara. Elected to the parliament in 2009 representing Badura district, the former parliamentarian continued to represent at the 7th parliament until 2015. Following the 2015 election, he was appointed as the private secretary to the 5th executive president Mahinda Rajapaksa. Reading economics at the University of London, former MP Udit Lukabandara has gained the marketing diploma from London Chamber of Commerce and has worked as a chartered marketer.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has decided to impose a 100% cash margin deposit requirement against the importation of selected goods of non-essential or non-urgent nature. The relevant decision was reached with the intention to support the ongoing efforts to preserve the stability of the exchange rate and foreign currency liquidity by discouraging excessive imports. The relevant decision was reached during a meeting of the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka yesterday. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka has indicated that 623 selected goods will fall under the imposed condition in accordance with the relevant decision. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka said that the decision was reached to impose the 100% cash margin deposit requirement against the selected goods importations made under letters of credit and documents against acceptance terms with licensed commercial banks and the National Savings Bank. The statement issued by the central bank has indicated that more than $1,057 million had been allocated for the importation of the selected goods in 2019, and the allocation had declined to $871 million in the year 2020. Central Bank of Sri Lanka has further indicated that this decision would support the ongoing efforts taken to preserve the foreign currency liquidity.
Minister Professor G.L. Pires has sought greater economic cooperation with Iran, including enhancing bilateral trade, investment and the possibilities of cooperation in new sectors. The minister made this request when the ambassador of Iran, Hashim Ashjazadeh, called on him at the Foreign Ministry yesterday. The Foreign Minister highlighted the long-standing friendly relations between Sri Lanka and Iran. He also conveyed the appreciation of the Sri Lankan government for the steadfast support extended by Iran during the Human Rights Council sessions held in Geneva and other multilateral platforms. The Iran ambassador extended his felicitations to Minister Pires on his appointment as the Foreign Minister and assured the firm commitment and support of the government of Iran in expanding bilateral cooperation with Sri Lanka. State Minister Arundhika Fernando, currently on a tour in France, met with representatives of the Agricultural Research and Cooperative Organization of France together with the Sri Lankan delegation. Lengthy discussions have been conducted on several sectors during this meeting. Sri Lanka Ambassador to France, Professor Shanika Himrubigama, was also present at this occasion.
The chief executive officer of the private company who was arrested over the recent disappearance of data of the National Medicines Regulatory Authority has been granted bail by the Colombo Magistrates Court today. He was taken into custody by the Criminal Investigation Department. The Colombo Additional Magistrate ordered to release the suspect on sureties of 1 million rupees each. The suspect was ordered to surrender his passport to the court's custody. The suspect was ordered to be present at the Criminal Investigation Department on the Sunday of the final week of each month. The additional magistrate ordered to release the suspect on bail as he had intervened to conduct an internal inquiry into the incident as well, as no cogent evidence was available against the suspect for the commission of the offence. That's all the news for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.